YouTube, what's going on? What's happening? As always, I am Hadou Kid, and today I'm bringing you my personal rankings for the Gears of War series games. I've been playing Gears since the very first Gears of War. I found it randomly going to a family video, figured I'd pick it up, it looked interesting, and I fell in love right then and there. I played Gears 1, 2, all of them pretty much. Maybe a couple here or there that I haven't played. So I've gotten a lot of experience, had a lot of good, bad, everything in between kind of experiences and feedback. I don't know, the Gears of War gameplay is like no other. The community is like no other. And right now I know it's really some struggles kind of getting through some of the latest games and the way things are going. But I feel like this part of me always ends up coming back to Gears, and I'm always a huge fan at heart, especially just going back to my childhood. So put together a little tier list of what I think the best games are from best to worst, and I hope you enjoy. So if you like it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, but let me know in the comments what you think, where you would place each of these games, and whether you think there should be a Gears of War 6. Without further ado, I'll just get right into the video. Alright, let's see what we got. So we got Gears 1, Gears 2, 3, 4, 5, Gears Judgment, Gears of War Tactics, which was like the turn-based version, and then Gears Ultimate. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and do this. I never played Gears Tactics. I tried it out for a little bit, and I don't know, the video settings on my computer kind of got weird, and I think it was early when it wasn't super optimized. I don't know where it's at now, but I never played this one, so I might have to put this one in like a not played category because I don't want to unfairly judge it. I've heard positive things about it. I've heard it's a pretty fun game and a good way to do like a game like this, as opposed to like the XCOMs and other kind of games like that. But that's where that one is. Let's start at the beginning. Gears of War 1. Man, it's a tough one because Gears 1, if you ask a lot of people, I feel like we'll say it's probably their favorite. If you think about just the nostalgia, anything from just the first time Dom breaks Marcus out of jail to even I always remember the scene with the boomers or the boom shot guys when they're walking out, like doing their little Men in Black walk, and that first just boom. Man, Gears 1. It's definitely either A or S tier. I feel like I gotta put Gears 1 A for now, just because obviously the games got a little more better gameplay and such, but Gears 1 definitely set the foundation for the Gears of War franchise. Right story, right introduction to characters. But I do know I feel like the next couple of games are probably gonna, just from a campaign perspective, kind of take it up a notch. So that's why I'm gonna put Gears 1. Gears 2. Gears 2 is the game that a lot of people I think say is the best. Man, the soundtrack from Gears 2, best soundtrack in this series in my opinion, just hands down. You got the scene with Dom and Maria. Not many people got out of that with dry eyes. A lot of people cried at that. I mean, you can't beat Gears 2. The story was fantastic. The DLC was good. They had a DLC where I think you could walk around as Theron guards and stuff. That was pretty fun. The maps were iconic, and they had like the weapons. There's a lot of weapons in this one that kind of got taken out later. I think like the mortar and just a lot of other stuff. They expanded on the story. Gears 2. I gotta put at S, because just this is the only game also that I grinded the seriously 2.0. I would come home from school every day. I was in high school or 7th, 8th grade or something. I would go into campaign, and one of the last missions where you're on the Brumac, and I would just mow down locusts over and over and over again. I used to do it for like an hour a day. That's how dedicated I was to Gears. I used to just come home every day and make sure I was doing this because I just wanted that achievement to say I did that. Back in the day, especially now, like achievements, like when you had such pride in it and you just really wanted to be able to say I did that in Gears. And and the game really, like really hits you like it does. Like a lot of my friends I played Gears really mostly with, did a couple of game battles things and stuff, and yeah, Gears 2 is hands down I think probably my favorite. Gears 3, what do we put in Gears 3? So Gears 3 was a good game as well. Of course, if you played it, you know this is kind of where the other tearjerker with Dom. Dom is such a great character with a great story arc. Dom had his whole scene where he, no, not trying to give no spoilers. I know the game is a million years old, but pretty much Dom stepped up to save the team and everybody in a way that was just heroic, and that was probably the biggest highlight of this game, as far as the campaign goes. Not counting, of course, the end with putting a stop to the queen and stuff. That's a spoiler because we played any of the other ones, like that's how the game kind of. 3 is like supposed to be the end of the story before they decide to extend it. So the campaign was good too. The one thing I'll say about Gears 3 is this introduced, I want to say, the Retro Lancer, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Retro Lancer and the Sawed Off and the Digger. And the Digger like didn't last long, but it was basically a gun where you would shoot out a this creature thing. It would go into the ground, and then underground it would go towards your enemies and then pop up almost like the drop shot, just underground, if you play the new Gears. And it was, at least I hated it. I don't know many people that liked it. So yeah, the Digger was trash in my opinion. The Sawed Off was just, in my opinion, a way for kids who didn't know how to use the Nasher. That's probably what you'll get from like the Gears vets. If you were good with a Nasher, when the Sawed Off came out, it just seemed like a cop out. Like a lot of the, Call of Duty puts guns in their games to help, just kind of casually get better. And it is a steep learning curve if you're just hopping into Gears and you see people wall bouncing like they're freaking NBA 2K stars. So Gears 3, I did love it a lot. A lot of my friends I think had started to trickle off Xbox Live a little bit, but Gears 3 I'm gonna have to put at, I'll say a B for now, because I don't think it has that nostalgia factor that Gears 1 has, but it also is very great and a really great way to wrap up the story, until we get into the next few games. So let's go in chronological order, which would mean Gears Judgment actually is the next game. I don't know if anybody has any objections with that. Gears Judgment was not my favorite game. I liked some of the characters from it. They had some cool characters that they introduced you to, and it's a cool like addition to the story that I believe was also in the comics, but like the gameplay was not that fun. I didn't really like the way they handled the different like layers being above and being able to swoop in on top of people and stuff like that. Two-piece was like essentially essential to the gameplay. I feel like everybody who was able to, dominate a leaderboard in that game was just going around two-piecing people. There was a lot about this game I just didn't like. So for that reason, I gotta put it at D. I know for some people this is their favorite game. I think that's a small majority of people, but I'm gonna keep it at D. Now we get into Gears 4. Gears 4 was, I think, fun at first. When you got into it, you see the whole story where Marcus has a son and Anya passed away, and pretty much it's like the new generation of Gears. So you got Kate, Del, JD, and you're kind of learning them. It definitely was cool in the sense that there hadn't been a Gears game in a while. Because 4, I don't remember how long it was that 4 and Judgment were stretched out, or even 3. A lot of people don't think of Judgment. But it was a good little gap in there. So, Gears 4, I would say the multiplayer was kind of rough. And Eventually the content got pretty good. I remember towards the end of its life, there was some really cool skins like the armored cantuses and stuff like that. Those were really cool. But for a long time, it started this like long drip feed of content that wasn't super exciting. Um, so Gears 4 was cool, but I would have to put that in. I want to put that C or I definitely like Gears 3, but so I'll say this right now. These three are better than these two, in my opinion. So I'm gonna put Gears 4 here. And that's based on again, like it was a cool reintroduction, but a lot of this stuff was really, in a sense, kind of recycled. It was the same structure of the original Gears games, just with different characters, and I don't think we were emotionally gripped or attached as much to those characters. So for that reason, I gotta put Gears 4 at least above the original trilogy. All right, Gears 5 is the one that's out right now, and this one is the freshest, and also I probably have the most grievances with. So it came out like September 2019, and it's been rocky for the most part. You know, just a lot of the microtransactions and stuff, and eventually there was kind of a system where it was like, okay, well you can grind for coins, and instead of coins you can, or instead of iron you can use the coins. But then sometimes they'd be like, well, here's some content that you can only get with the iron, and it was still trying to kind of get what they wanted with the microtransactions and the exclusivity and purchasing of certain content, while also just trying to, I guess, appease the audience to keep playing. So kind of mixed messages. I will say the campaign was pretty fun. I kind of enjoyed the open style gameplay. It did kind of take away from the story driven approach. You know, Gears is a very linear game, but in that way, when you create the right atmosphere, I feel like you really can induce certain emotions in your community, like how Gears 1, 2, and 3 did to some extent. The campaign, I would say, thumbs up. I did not play the DLC, and I'm not really interested in the Hive Busters DLC. Also, I guess in that regard, I haven't talked about like Horde or Escape or even Beast Mode. Beast Mode was fun. Horde was super fun if you have friends. To be honest, I play Horde like solo sometimes. That sounds sad, but when you're gonna grind the achievements and challenges, like Horde is fun, and it's kind of therapeutic just going around wall bouncing, feeling the weapons out. Just kind of you taking on the world. It's kind of like when you play Doom, when you're a Doom Slayer, and you get to just take on an army of Hell's demons. You kind of feel like that. You really feel like Marcus Phoenix or whoever your character of choice is, just knocking down a whole army of locusts and swarm, whatever. It's a pretty cool feeling. So they did Horde pretty well in Gears 5, but Gears 5 is pretty riddled with like bugs and stuff, and I think just some of the politics around how things were handled were not very well done. Even now, I still get disconnected from matches randomly. My game has been very choppy lately, and Gears 5 I'll put at a C. I think I want to put it, the saltiness in me wants to put it at a D, but the fact that I keep playing and the fact that it's still fun, it's good gameplay, it's just a lot of bad blood in the water. The content is not very exciting either at this point, but I will put it at a C just because the pros and cons kind of they negate each other. So I'll just put it at the same level as 4. And we'll see if there's a Gears 6 coming. It'd be interesting to see what it would even be about. If you got to the end of the Gears 5, you would know. Just interested to see where the story goes from here. Okay, and Gears Ultimate. So Gears Ultimate is the HD remake of Gears 1. I played it for a little bit, but I didn't super play a lot of it because I had already played Gears 1, so it was kind of just bringing that nostalgia factor back. It did look very nice, and I don't recall having any issues with it. Yeah, I mean, I can put it here because it essentially was the same game to me. If you had any other issues, I guess let me know like in the comments if there was something about 1. I did hear they kind of did the microtransaction thing in 1, which I would definitely count as negative points. if I had really like stuck around to experience that. Because I feel like Gears 1, you know what? Actually, you know what I want to do? I think I want to put Gears 1 here with Gears 2 at S. Because I think Gears 1 hit so hard and Gears 2 is such a great follow up. I think they should definitely be just at the top. And then I can put Gears Ultimate at A. Just because, again, it's kind of like 1, just it didn't really hit as hard as 1 did. So I think that's how I'm going to break it up. So what do we got? We got the first 2 Gears games here at the top. We got Gears Ultimate at A, Gears of War 3 at B, 4 and 5 at C, Judgment at D, and I never played Tactics. From what I've heard about Tactics sounds like it was fun. I'm not a big fan of those kind of games either, so I would definitely have a biased opinion if I tried to put it like I would probably put it down here just because I don't like those kind of games. But from what I hear, it's a good game, but when you think about it, is it better than Gears 3? You guys will have to let me know, because I just didn't even really get into it. Maybe one day, but no time soon. So yeah, this is my Gears of War tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments, whether or not you agree, disagree, what your favorite Gears game is. Like I said, I know a lot of us have played Gears. Some people it's for, it's for you. For others, the third person over the shoulder doesn't really tickle your fancy. You might more like the first person shooting like Call of Duty or Doom or most shooters these days. Gears will always have a special place in my heart. A lot of great memories, as part of my upbringing when I was kind of playing the Xbox 360 and the other consoles and such. Now I'm on PC. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and share with your friends. I'm curious what the general consensus is on all these games. And I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. I appreciate all the support. And have a blessed day, a blessed week, blessed weekend, and see you next time. Take care. Okay, so one honorary mention I want to make. I know it's not on this list, and I don't know if anybody even played this game, but there's a game called Gears Pop, and it's like Plants vs. Zombies, but with Gears Funko Pop characters. And that game is more fun than I thought it would be. I don't see it here on this list. Like I said, I don't know if people even consider it a real canon game. Canon, like, it's Funko Pop characters. But that game is super fun. And I would honestly put that up there with like Gears 3. I know it's not the same gameplay and it's like a fun, silly game. But like if you just talk about how enjoyable it is, like if you haven't played it, go check it out. It's the Gears Funko Pop game. I think it's called Gears Pop. That game is fun, and I didn't know what to expect while I was playing it. I think I was just waiting on Gears 5 or something to come out. I decided to pick it up. I had a blast playing that game. And then Gears 5, I think, came out, or whatever happened. I transitioned to another game. But I didn't want to leave it off the list because technically it is a Gears of War game. And it would have been a disservice to leave off a game like that because it's pretty fun. And if you're asking me, do I think Gears Funko Pop, the game, is better than Gears 4 and 5? That's exactly what I'm telling you. So, like I said, I didn't want to leave that out. But yeah, appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys next time.